Hello. Hey, I was trying to do a quick video. That's why I'm holding this helmet on my hand. I usually put them out on a table or on a headpiece display. It was not really late, but late enough where I don't want to drag everything out. And I've got bayonets sitting everywhere that are in different stages of conservation. So, in my free time, which I tend to have a lot of sometimes, I always search through Facebook Marketplace and all the local groups that I'm part of, and I found this very nice front seam. You see the front seam there? World War II steel helmet. These are getting harder to find. They're getting harder to find in, I should say, for decent prices, affordable prices. Most of collectors have them, and they're $100, $150 on up, depending on condition. And I've just seen them go up and up and up. And I have quite a few myself that I'm never selling, and that goes with this one too. But I found this locally, went into town. Took me an hour to get to him because I live up in the mountains and he lived on the far side of town. It wasn't a great part of town, so we had to use caution going there just because of where it was. No problems, though. Everything went well. The guy I bought it from, he was a young guy, a very nice young man. He didn't collect helmets. He got this in a clean out and just wanted to get rid of it. Just wanted to make some money. So, $20. Didn't care if it was worth more or less. He wanted $20. That's what I gave him. Thanked him. Went on my way. We had a few stops, so I didn't have a chance to get to this till right now. But again, that's why it's on my hand. It's late, and I just want to show it to y'all real quick. If you can look at the front of the helmet, you kind of see a lighter discoloration right in the very front. Got some dark lines around it. That's lieutenant bars. So this was a marked officer's helmet at some time during the war. Now, usually I looked on the back. I couldn't see any type of other markings that would denote an officer. Well, maybe I do. I don't know how to. I'm going to get some. I don't know. I'm going to get something and look at it and see if I could find a bar that's on the back, vertical or horizontal bar. Sometimes we're on these. But again, that is still lieutenant bars because I chipped a piece off. You can see that little chip right there. And it's either white or gold. And I got to get a Q-tip and clean that out and just see if I can. Somebody wrote Born to Kill. I guess they were wanting to play pretend Full Metal Jacket. But what's unique about this is the straps that are on it, the fasteners, have this metal attachment here. Now, I know 70s, 80s, we had some with black metal, and they had a snap on it, and it was like a chin cup type thing, a strap. But I've got my other helmet that I used when I was in the Army. I got a hold of that one, and it was before they gave us the Kevlar, so I kept it. So you can see that these look similar to, the American style. I had a collector from a group I'm in for M-1 helmets told me that it was Canadian straps, and I did a little bit of research on Canadian use of American helmets, and from 1942 up until the 70s, shortly after Vietnam, Canadian troops used American helmets. 42, they procured like 200,000 helmets, I believe, and used them. I mean, First Special Forces unit, when they were in Canada coming here, they issued helmets, their own helmets that came with those. I don't know. It takes more research to get into it, and I have some information on it that I could probably post in the comments of this later on, or like update the description section. Or just look down in the description section before I post this. I'll get everything ready and put in there. But these straps, I was told, are from the 60s. And that would match because sitting on another table is a 1960s fiberglass liner. It's marked 1962. So that would put it in the right period to have these. I mean, Canada used them up until close to the 80s. When the Kevlar started coming out, is when they switched also, and then they had their own, and they had stuff from England as well. That makes it like unique to me. I'm not going to change the straps. I was going to. I have some original straps from that period that I could have put on. They're not the replica ones that they sell. But what I want you to look at also is the spot welds on the swivel bales. These are the bales that hold, they call these parts here that swivel. Well, they had 3 types in all. They had the fixed bale, which looked just like this part here, but it was welded directly to the helmet. They were fixed, they wouldn't move. They tended to break a lot. They had some for paratroopers that they call a D ring, where this looked like a letter D, but it was welded directly to the helmet. And again, just as the helmet progressed, because it was a new style helmet during World War II, being used in combat situations, the bales often broke off, so they switched to these swivel bales. And the only thing you'll see different in those is the size of this actual bale itself tends to square off and get rounded as time progressed up until the 80s, and we started using Kevlar. But you can see where the spot welds are. They're kind of off-centered in the middle. So that makes me think that this was once a fixed bale helmet that was switched over to a swivel bale mid to late war because they kept breaking off. It would have been great if it was a fixed bale, but I'm going to take a World War II helmet any way I can get it. Usually they have some heat stamps in here that you can kind of use to date the helmet just to make sure it's early. But this is, early to mid World War II. I would suspect it's a McCord, but I'm going to still look it up. See if I can find something else on it, or maybe if somebody else knows, just by looking at the inside, what it can be. But I like it. I was going to change the straps out, but I figured, you know what, I'm leaving it as is. The only thing I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see it with this lighting. There you go. That lieutenant bar, whatever color I can figure out that is, and that's either by getting a needle and picking off a little bit. I'm going to get some goof off and see if I can get the overspray for the second type of paint job they put on it for like later 70s, 80s. Get that off just that one little spot, because I want that to show. It's not going to be brand new solid, or if I have to do it solid, then I'll age it a little bit, but it's original to the helmet. It's not going to take away from the value as far as I'm concerned. It's in my collection and it's mine, and I'll do as I want with it. But, I'm not going to touch it as far as any of this. I'm going to treat some of the scale rust up here. You see where it's black? I don't like that because it keeps getting deeper and deeper as time wears on. There's some red rust that I've come to know quite a bit about by doing these helmets. So it's just active rust, and I don't want active rust on my helmets. So, or if the goof off takes this off, I'll go back just a second. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump back to that. If goof off takes off enough to where it's still visible, where you can see the rank insignia, then it just gets taken off a little bit and left alone. So that's it. I don't know. Well, you know what? Just in case anybody is interested in the liner. There's a liner. You see, most of the finish is gone on this, and I've had several liners that look that way. The only issue with this is the sweatband is gone, and it just got corroded with some rust from the sweatband and pulled around that was ripped. Now that's not something that ruins the liner. I can fix that, and without really altering too much of it. But it's a U.S. liner, and it's from. I can't reach in there because I'm holding it one, but it's got 62 on there, so that's 60s liner. You know, and with the chin strap. So this was in Canada at one time. A U.S. M-1 steel helmet, Canadian military use, most likely after World War II, but it's still a nice swivel bail front seam officer's helmet. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching. Check back again. And I've got some more bayonets to conserve, so be looking for those videos. Have a great evening or day, and stay safe out there.